How you doing? If I told you that you had a nice body, would you hold it against me? I know, bad joke, but do you struggle with hating your body? If so, there are things you can do to know your body is something worth celebrating. This can be a problem for many people. Body dysmorphia in the world that we're in with all the marketing that goes on is a big problem, not just for women, but for men too. We disparage the body that we have. I'm too fat, I'm too weak, I'm not good looking, I'm bald, I got acne, it goes on and on and on. All the things that you can do to break your body down and be upset about it or wish that you had more. I know what that can feel like. It can be hard, it can change your perspective, it can drag you down. If you're feeling dissatisfied with what your body's bringing you, these are 3 steps that you can use to learn to celebrate the things that you have. The first thing to do is look for all the areas your body supports you. Often we're just looking at one specific thing. Oh, I have this belly fat, or I have, whatever it is that you don't like. I have a big nose. I have all of the things that bother us are typically not that big. And yet you have a body that breathes, you have a body that moves, you have a body that speaks and metabolizes food and gives you the ability to go see great sights. And we neglect to celebrate that. We neglect to see all the beauty that is there. And it makes me think of this man who started running the Ironman with his crippled son. His son had been born with some form of, I actually don't know the diagnosis. It was like a severe crippling disease of the body where he had no control over his musculature. He was nonverbal, but they believed he was intelligent. And eventually, with working with their son, they got to a point where they had a computer program that could actually allow him to communicate. And they found out that their boy had a great sense of humor. He loved sports. And he loved to run with his dad. His dad would put him in a stroller and take him running. So his dad, in order to give the son this celebratory experience within his own body that was crippled beyond the ability to move for himself, would take this boy running. And the boy would just roll back and smile and moan. And so he started doing an Ironman with him, which is a 2-mile swim, a 26-mile run, and over a 100-mile bike ride. It's an incredibly grueling race for an individual, and this dad would take his son, a full-grown man, he would tow him behind in a raft on the swim. He had a big seat for him on the front of his bike, and he would run with him in a cart for 26 miles because he wanted to see his son celebrating his body, his broken, crippled body that delivered so much joy to him in these moments. So I'm telling you that you can celebrate what you have. It's a real thing if you look to what support your body gives you. Number 1. Number 2, focus on expanding that joy and appreciation. When you can find the areas through your body that you feel like you're grateful for, expand your focus from that one thing and build upon it. What are the other things that your body does for you? Maybe you feel like you have a really nice big toe. Focus on that. I love my big toe. I can open bottles with it. I actually know a girl who has lost both her arms, and she opens Coke cans with her toes. I tried to do it. I couldn't. It's incredibly difficult. And she can do all these things with her feet, and it's beautiful and exciting to watch somebody that has learned to navigate what I would consider limitations with such grace and poise. And she appreciates what she can do. It's joyful, and it expands your experience of what you are feeling in the world. Focus on that. Number 3 is really an analogy. When we play music, right, you can play a song and listen to the beauty of the music. And the person playing it, I don't know if you've ever been to a classical pianist concert, but they'll play, and the amount of sound that comes from the keyboard when you got a classical musician, pianist playing is incredible. The layers of sound and music that come are beautiful and can touch you in certain ways that, other things can't. However, the person playing, I've often talked to people that perform when they're done, and I'll say, "Oh, I love that song, it was so beautiful." And I've often heard the person playing say, "Oh, but I hit a few wrong keys, it wasn't perfect, it bothered me." But I did not notice. I did not notice that hitting one wrong key in that sequence of beautiful music was a mistake. I did not notice that the sound was wrong. I just noticed the overwhelming beauty of the whole performance, not the tiny mistake. And too often, our focus goes from the beauty of our bodies and all that they have for us to the one error and the one mistake that you see. Kristin Neff, in her book Self-Compassion, writes a story of how she was getting dressed for a date with her husband, and she looked in the mirror and she was all dolled up and ready to go, and all she could see was the acne, that she had a zit on her face. And she was so frustrated with how she looked because she had a zit. That is often the perspective that we take. It's not perfect, and so everything is wrong. And yet, she looked beautiful in getting prepared to go out with her husband. She was dressed up, she looked great. Her husband probably looked at her and thought, "Man alive, you're so stunning." And she was herself focused on the one thing that was wrong. Don't make that your focus. Go back to the things that you are celebrating within your body. Let yourself know that you appreciate what you have. Be full of gratitude. Recognize that every breath you take is a gift. As long as you are breathing, there is something magical going on in the life that you're living, in the body that you are residing in. There is something to be learned. Stephen Hawking, one of the great minds of our time, who wrote books and expanded our understanding of the universe, had to blow through a pipe to be able to speak and to move. And yet, his body, the brain that he had, his ability to unfold mysteries to us was astounding. It is something that captured the world with his knowledge and understanding. And probably the fact that he was stuck in a chair, immobile, and able to celebrate the mind he was given and delve into that and expand it is what allowed him to deliver those things to us. Wouldn't it have been tragic if he had sat there bemoaning the fate that he had been given to have a physically weak body and not recognize the strength of his mind? I would hope that each of us could find within ourselves how to have a healthy relationship with our bodies, so that we can then not only be happy in celebrating what we have, but allow others to see and appreciate the world through us and how we move. Just as when I think of that man who pushes his son through a triathlon because of the love and joy that it brought him, touches me. We can all do this for each other. So celebrate yourself. I hope that this is something that you don't struggle with, but if you do, I hope that this perspective is something that can help change your mind and allow you to focus on what you bring to the table. Make some comments below. What have you struggled with? Or are there things that you have noticed that you think that people could learn from you on how to be healthy and happy with what they've got? And stick around and watch this video coming up, How I Unlearned Dangerous Lessons About Masculinity. Hope you like it. I'm James Burnham. Thanks for hanging out with me.